If you're lucky enough to call yourself a new Nexus 4 owner after the holiday season, then here are some tips and tricks for you. Hey, it's Joshua Vergara from Android Authority. What's going on, everybody? And these are my 10 tips and tricks for the Google Nexus 4. All right, let's go ahead and jump in. But first, a quick disclaimer. Some of the tips and tricks you might see in this video you may have seen before, and at the same time, some of them pertain more to the Jelly Bean 4.2 operating system than the Nexus 4 device itself. However, I can guarantee that there is something in this video for everyone. So let's jump in. This first tip is about the Nexus 4 in particular though. Protect your investment. It's no secret that the Nexus 4 is a rather fragile phone. Even small drops from a short distance are enough to shatter even the Corning Gorilla Glass on the front or the regular glass on the back. This is a sexy phone, but that does come with a little bit of a price. So it's best to be as careful as possible with it. Me personally, when I'm actually using my Google Nexus 4, I'm usually pretty careful with it. I've yet to drop in, I've yet to have any scratches on the body. But when I'm not using the phone, I prefer to put it into this particular sleeve. There are a lot of different cases out there by a lot of different companies, and this Crewmena by SGP Spigen is my choice. This next tip allows you to cut the cord. The key wireless standard is built into the Nexus 4, meaning that you don't have to use the included power cord in order to charge your phone. This allows you to use various mats made by Energizer or even the one made specifically by LG. Now, unfortunately, the Nexus wireless charging orb is still not available, but there have been reports of it showing up on websites overseas. So hopefully this really cool dock will be available in the US very soon. But now we're going to expand our lock screens. One of the best pieces of functionality added into Jelly Bean 4.2 happens right when you wake up your screen. These lock screen widgets, or rather, not really widgets, but screens, are things that you can swipe among to open various apps, like the camera app you see here. However, you are able to add to what's already built in there, and it's only a matter of time before more applications add lock screen functionality. In this case, I open up the messaging screen so that I can see all of my text messages in a glance. You are able to use this as an easy way of seeing all of your info right away, or to go right into different apps immediately. Some of you may already know how to do this, but still worth mentioning. Let's capture your screen. Built into every Android smartphone is the ability to capture whatever it is on the screen at any given time. All you have to do is make sure that your screen is displaying exactly what you need, and you just have to hold down the volume down and the power buttons together, and a flash should appear on your screen showing you that something was taken. Afterwards, you will see in the notification dropdown that your screenshot was saved and you can view it just like any other picture. Taking a screenshot of what's on your screen is really handy because if you happen to have some sort of information, let's say from an email or let's say this list of stories from Reddit, for example, that you just want to be able to save, but there's no real way to be able to do it easily, you can always just take a quick screenshot of what you're looking at and now you have a picture that is easily viewable whenever you need it. And now we're going to take advantage of a way that Google's just trying to make your life that much easier. Set your phone right quick. It probably is no secret already that the notification dropdown has been expanded in the new Jelly Bean 4.2. Just hit this button on the side and you will be given access to all of your mostly used settings. There is a button there to get to just the settings screen itself, but as you can see here, I'm able to access Bluetooth, my mobile data, and my Wi-Fi immediately just from a quick press. It'll go straight to the page in the settings and it's really nice. But there's an even easier way to get to the settings page, and that's by using a two-finger swipe. It may seem like a very basic feature inside of the Nexus 4, but it saves those precious seconds and allows you to really change the settings on your phone really quickly. So just use a two-finger swipe and you go straight to your settings rather than having to pull down the notification dropdown and hit that button in the corner. Let's get things tidy by keeping your screens clean. I'm actually going to start with a rather obscure feature that's found inside of the Play Store. There's an option inside of the settings that allows you to auto-add widgets, or in this case icons, for any newly installed applications on the phone. This might seem like kind of a cool feature to have, but in all reality, it is really annoying. Think of it. You get your Nexus 4, you put your Google account, which has already been used, onto this new phone, and all of those applications that weren't already installed are now installed, and their widgets and icons populate all of your home screens. If you have a lot of apps, this becomes tiring very fast. In this case, I'm going to use Pulse as my example. By disabling that setting, I now don't have to worry about it being on the home screen right away. I can just grab the icon and take advantage of another feature that keeps screens clean, and that's the folders. These folders are actually sent down to my dock, making room for things that are more important on my home screen. Take advantage of these options because they really help to keep things clean. But now it's time to unleash your inner shutterbug, or to use a term that I'm not particularly fond of, your inner Instagrammer. The camera inside of the Jelly Bean 4.2 operating system has been updated and makes the Nexus 4 camera experience that much better. The 8-megapixel camera found in the Nexus 4 is already a big improvement, but the interface has been overhauled in the camera app that does away with traditional menus for touch and swipe settings, and that just makes the whole experience fun. The gallery itself has been given some extra features as well, as when you hit this little icon on the bottom left, you're given access to a bunch of new settings like the filters and the ability to crop, add a frame, or even change the exposure of a photo in order to get a whole new look. This simple picture that I took inside of the camera app has now been given a vintage filter and some rounded edges for the frame. Pretty neat stuff. Another feature built into the new camera is the photosphere. It might make you look a little bit silly as you're trying to go around the grid and align the dots. However, what comes out of it are street view-like pictures that have a very nice perspective and are kind of fun to look at. In this particular shot, I tried to get just the area in front of me, and what turned out was this nice, albeit somewhat imperfect shot. Still pretty fun to use. This one was actually quite new to me. Teach your phone how to pronounce your name. Built into the People application are a number of different fields for contact cards, and this one is Phonetic Name. If you use Google Voice Search and you find it hard for Google to recognize a hard-to-pronounce name in your contacts, you can spell it out here the way it would sound to it. But for my brother, as you see here, I just put in nickname and added the word brother because Google Voice Search will find it all the same. Now I don't have to say call Ryan, which gives me the wrong contact.
Call Ryan.
Instead, I can say call brother and it will get me straight to the one that I need.
Call brother.
Pretty handy stuff. But speaking of Google Voice Search, let's move on to Google Now, which it is built into, which is where we make our phone our personal assistant. If there's one thing I want to drive home in this video, it's this. Use Google Now more often. It's an impeccable piece of software that allows you to see information you didn't realize you wanted to know right away. Yeah, there's the weather right there, but above it was the score for the Lakers game, and unfortunately, well, they lost again. But the voice search is just as impeccable. Just by using my voice, I can activate voice search by saying Google within Google Now. After that, I can say any number of commands like setting alarms, setting appointments, or opening apps from within the phone like Gmail. Other than that, Google Now is just a great place to start any search, whether you use your voice or the text box at the top. It's a great place to consolidate all the info you're looking for, and it's just a wonderful tool. So use Google Now more often. After all of that, I just want to remind you in my final tip, it's okay to daydream. One of the more obscure features found in Jelly Bean 4.2 is the Daydream function, but it's still really useful. I'm going to illustrate this real quick before I explain it by using the photo frame feature in Daydream. Essentially what will happen here is I pick a few pictures, and after the phone is supposed to go to sleep, when it's plugged in, it'll become a nice little photo slideshow on the side. Daydream is a function that is available whether the phone is docked or charging. So remember to go into the settings and pick the one that is right for you. I pick either because, let's face it, not all of us have a dock, but we hope to someday. Daydream allows you to make your phone either a clock. There's this bean flinger screen that allows you to play with the phone when it's not quite in use, but it's in the middle of daydreaming. But there's also the photo frame that I showed you earlier. So imagine every night you plug in your phone, you put it on a stand like this, or maybe you are one of the lucky ones who has a dock. Once the phone is about to go to sleep, it turns to whatever you set it to, and it continues to be useful even when you're not using it. It's one of the great little features that might seem a little obscure, but turns out to be really useful. And it's just another reason why the Nexus 4 is a great device. And so, there you have it. The Nexus 4 is one of the hottest devices out on the market right now, and that's illustrated by the fact that it is almost perpetually sold out. If you're one of the few people that got your hands on a Nexus 4 over the holiday season, I hope this tips and tricks video helped you out. Do you have a tip or trick that you want to share with us at the Android Authority community? Feel free to leave one in the comments below or head over to androidauthority.com, your source for all things Android.